Come through, fam. We lit and we chill. Well, greetings and salutations, everyone. My name's Shorty McShawbread, and you're watching the best damn show here on this godforsaken platform known as YouTube. This is, well, it's not the Collision Talk podcast. Sorry about that, Syl. We're not ready for that collision. Dang. You know, but we've got, this is the Crisis on Infinite Streams, part number 2, the sequel on DC Fandome weekend, right, here on Film Gob, with my special guests. Lady Jenevia and Syl Abdul and Matthew Miranda from Lightcast, but he's not here right now. So he will just have to wait a little bit.
Hopefully he'll turn up.
Sorry, Syl, is your microphone working?
Is my microphone working?
Let's see. It is. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Definitely. I can hear you. I thought it was on mute for some. It was on mute.
Gotcha. Yeah, loud and clear.
Let's see who's in here. Richard Richardson, Matija Jovic. What's he saying, Matija? Goblins, report in. Today is going to be lit and chill, of course.
Yes.
Suki 97. Chris Clark, he's a boomer. Richard Gilbert, thank you. So yeah, we're just going to talk about a whole lot of DC stuff. Yeah, even though DC Fandome hasn't started yet. So how are you feeling today, Lady Jenevia? How are you?
I mean, I'm feeling great. I'm excited to see everything that is on the schedule. And I'm also excited to see all of the stuff that is not written on the schedule, but will be happening anyway.
Schedule.
We've got Fatal J in here as well. The ninja, he appears. And Syl, how are you? How's your week been?
Well, like you said, no collision today. So, but I'm pretty hyped this morning. A lot of caffeine, so we're ready for Fandom.
I've got my caffeine here as well. It's all good. But saving that for later, man. But we're going to get to a few things. Let me share the screen first of all. Let's see, application window. There you go. Boom. So I did this video. Well, not this one. That's the video we're doing right now. No, not that one. Wait, where am I? I'm all over the place. No. Here is the DC Fandome schedule, right? So I actually got back into the Fandome website, looked at my schedule. So this is the schedule that I've created for myself. You guys can go log in and do it for yourselves. See what you want. But yeah, so I'm starting with the Wonder Woman 1984 panel, 6 o'clock my time. So I'm not going to go into the times because it's different for everyone when they log in. So first, Wonder Woman 84 panel, Warner Brothers Games Montreal announcement, Sandman Universe, Suicide Squad panel, surprise DC Comics panel is back on. Looks like it. The Snyder Cut.
Does that mean comics, like actual comics, or does that mean?
That's what it looks like. Surprise DC Comics panel, because maybe you've not heard anything about I've not heard much about the DC Black Label releases. Maybe something to tease that. I don't know. The Snyder Cut of Justice League, of course. I don't know if I should go live for that or I should record it. I don't know, but everyone's going to be hyped for that. Hyped. Black Adam panel, Aquaman, and then that's where, for me, Saturday is going to end there, or early hours of Sunday with the Aquaman panel. And then tomorrow I'm going to just catch up with all these, Harley Quinn, Shazam panel.
Yeah, because they're re-airing stuff. So depending on your time zone, you have other chances to watch the later stuff if it's not a convenient time to watch it live.
Yeah. So Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. I'm very interested in that. The Batman panel.
Oh my God, I'm so excited about that.
Yeah, and then a whole lot of other panels. There you go. So that's my schedule, guys. And I'm glad they split it into 2 days, because otherwise I would have been screwed. I'd be like, where am I going? What am I doing?
Really? Oh, let me
You know
not.
what,
That's
with the
shady. Let
whole-
me not say that.
Yeah, with the Watchverse, because unlike some people, I don't just want to watch 2-3 panels. DC Fandom is bigger than that. Yeah, and yes, I know everyone's hyped for the Snyder Cut, but I want to get involved in everything, all the little kind of pre-recorded Jim Lee segments, things like that. I want to savor all of it, as a fan,
Right.
of course.
Right.
Apart from the Snyder Cut panel, Syl, how about you? What were you looking forward to?
Yeah, aside from the Snyder Cut, I'm looking for that Flash panel, because we got that little news about Batfleck. I just want to see if they have more nuggets
Do you
with
think
that.
that's when Ben will pop up?
Yes,
Or do you think he'll pop up in more than one panel?
I think more than one. Henry Cavill also.
And Henry Cavill, wow. Well, and Jenevia, what about you?
I mean, all of the big feature films I'm excited about. I'm excited for them to please tell me that it's Armie Hammer playing Aquaman.
No, I mean, I don't know, but I hope not.
solely so that we can jumpstart his momentum, so I can finally get my Man from U.N.C.L.E. sequel.
Yeah.
Yes,
Film guy, real quick update. I called Lightcast, or Matt from Lightcast. Apparently he was asleep or something, because he said he was confused. I was like, dude, like, we're live. Go get your t-shirts and log in. So we'll see.
Oh well, that's Matthew there, but yeah, hopefully he can join us. But let's move on to. I just want interesting. We've got our friend Maria Pin. She posted this. I don't know if she did this or I think it's her photograph. Just this Snyder Cut hashtag. This Snyder Cut. She's written it in the sand. It's beautiful. Kind of reminds me of when someone released a Snyder Cut in the sand, and the video's on there. In the recent video that I put up. And it's nice to see that. Hashtag the Snyder Cut. I love it. And also this awesome piece of artwork from AJ27_art of Zack Snyder. And she says she was inspired by our channel, my channel, to do this. Because, Shorty McShopbread, he wears his little boss spectacles. She put that on Zack Snyder's. Awesome. She go to her Instagram. She does amazing. These kind of shady drawings of all the DC actors, DC characters. She's awesome. And so let's see. Yeah, I was a really interesting tweet here from James Imperious Lex. The man went from merely posting stills of his lost Justice League film to headlining the biggest DC event in recent memory during a global thing. I'm not going to say that word. Legendary. Hashtag the Snyder Cut. So,
do you think they'll have the name sorted for today? Do you think that'll be part of the announcement, or do you think it's going to take longer for whatever legalities they have to work out?
Well, I mean, Zach said someone asked him on Vero, is that the official name? He's like, early days. He said early days. So,
yeah, because the last I had heard, it was a thing where he was like, well, I would like to have it be Zack Snyder's Justice League, but there were just some legalities that they had to work out. So I wasn't sure if anyone had any theories as to whether or not that would be part of the announcement. I mean, it's kind of a small detail in the grand scheme of things, but it would be nice, It
would be nice to know, yeah.
I like the Snyder Cut thing.
Different?
Well, yeah, I was saying I like the whole Snyder Cut thing. It's kind of had its reemergence. The Snyder Cut. That's what's been marketed by the fans for the last over 2 years. So maybe AT&T is like, let's cash in on that. Call it the Snyder Cut. General people are familiar with that name now. So I wouldn't be mad. I just want the movie. So
yeah, see, I know people are getting like arguing over it,
Arguing over what? The name?
Because some people say Zack wants it to be Zack Snyder's Justice League, and that's what he's fighting for. So we have to fight for it as well.
Oh,
And then you've got other people saying, no, well, it's just the Snyder Cut is good enough. Justice League, the Snyder Cut. Or like I joked, Justice League, the better one. You can have that. That's a good one.
Title. Yeah.
But
just drop the movie. Shout out to James. You have him in that tweet right there. Cool guy on Twitter. Has some dope gifs, whatever you call it. And yeah, just give us the movie. I don't care what you call it at this point.
Re75, Justice League, the F Joss cut. Could call it that. Zod Writer, he knows what's up. He says hashtag the Snyder Cut. Mr. West Ashley's here.
Mr. West.
He's just finished.
Zach Crack.
Zach Crack. Hashtag Zach Crack the movie.
Dope. Call it that, because that's what it is. Just inject that. Can I say inject?
Zach Crack the movie. That's right. So again, Mr. West Ashley's came up with that's a good one. He can coin that. Get on Twitter.
Dope.
And coin it.
What do you think they're going to show at the Batman panel? Like, I think it might be too early for a full trailer, but like it could be still images, it could be a clip, perhaps.
If you see the
DC announcements,
if you see the DC Fandome clip where he's talking and he's standing next to Aisha Tyler, and you pulls back and you see the Jim Lee artwork sitting on the floor and on the walls, and you see the car, you see the Batmobile there in the shadows. I don't know if he's going to be talking about that because it looks like a 3D model that they've got there. So they might be talking about the car. I don't know. Which would be cool because I want to see more of that Batmobile. It looks sweet, like a muscle car.
All right.
So that's that. Next up. So here's C Medleys is all the teaser videos edited into one video.
Ooh.
So these are all I don't know if I can pull this up. I'll silence it. So yeah, this is all the clips put into one. We saw it. We saw these clips over the past week.
Ray Fisher just looks wonderful in these teasers, man. Like it's something different energy about him in this.
Yeah, he actually gets to have a character. That's the difference.
They really toned him down. It's ridiculous in the Justice League.
I mean, I have a lot of respect for Ray with everything he's doing because it's just, I don't think people really appreciate how brave you have to be to put yourself out there like that when you've been done wrong and you don't have like the luxury of like a well-established career and this big network of like all, this, like if you've been in the industry for decades, then you want to call somebody out. It's a completely different thing than when you're brand new. So like I was thinking about this a lot because I was trying to think about what are we going to talk about on this stream. And I did want to talk about Ray a little bit because some of the people who watch my channel, they know that I went to a Comic-Con and I met Ray finally. I had never met him before at that convention. And I had asked him, oh, so what are you doing? Like, do you have any upcoming gigs? Because I was asking him that. I had no idea what he was doing. So in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, well, if he's got an upcoming project, I want to know about it so I can support it and watch him in a thing. And he kind of was coy in a way where he, like, because I asked him, I was like, oh, so if you don't have anything, like, are you going to auditions? He was like, no. And I was kind of confused because I was like, what is he doing? And now, like, thinking back on it, because I was thinking about it before we were going to do this show, and I was like, oh my God, he was putting a case together. That's why he wasn't doing, like, he was, because I can't imagine how much work he had to have done to gather all of his whatever testimonies or whatever, like, gathering all that evidence. So, I mean, it took this long. So there was I can't even imagine how much he's had to do to get to this point. And it's just completely changed. Like it's just paved the way for everything to come back. Because it's the Snyder Cut movement, but it's not just that. Like it's Ray. Like people really need to give Ray credit
Oh yeah, and I think he's starting to get that credit, which is cool. I mean, from the fandom, and then I think once we see his performance, like we got this scene with the teardrop. This is amazing. This scene right here is amazing.
Well, he's a theater actor.
Exactly.
Like, he's that
But
caliber.
You're on point to have a tear come out. You see what I'm saying? Like, dude is amazing. I can't wait to see it.
At first, I was like, "Is he wet? What's he wet from? Has he been dumped water on him or something?" But then I looked closely. Oh, it's
Look at his eye.
right?
Yeah.
And obviously, it's the scene where I don't know what happens to his father, but looks like something might happen. So, yeah. I was going to say the investigation that came out from Warner Media saying they're going to investigate. It says it goes beyond just Joss Whedon, John Berg, and Jeff Johns. So I don't know what that means. Who else was involved? But it's interesting that they came out and said that.
Yeah, probably some other WB execs who are still in the building. So Jeff Johns had a big faction and probably still does somewhat in WB, but it's getting moved out. So one thing at a time. That's what Ray Fisher's doing.
So I'm just going to go back to this these clips. So I love this, when Superman's looking at the monument and people are like, "Oh my God, it's so dark now." Well, yeah. I mean, it's a scene early in the early hours of the morning. Of course, it's going to be dark. So already the music, the music's for the teaser, but already I'm feeling hyped. Man. It's going to be a very intense scene when Kal-El returns. Man, this seems ages ago. When we got this Gal Gadot scene. She looks at baby Darkseid.
Baby Darkseid. Look at this, man. The passion in this before, like, we did not get that at all. Amazing, man.
Can I also say, I'm just so blown away by the CGI of how Cyborg looks. Because if any of you that are watching this follow me on Twitter, you know that I recently watched Green Lantern for the first time in like a decade since it first came out. And I was so confused watching that, like a CGI suit and a CGI mask. I was like, what? Why does it look like that? Because then I was thinking back to all those behind the scenes things of like Michael Shannon as General Zod. And when you see behind the scenes, he's got the gray pajamas on. So that's not even a real costume a lot of the time. I mean, it depends on which scene, obviously. But and then it's the same thing with Ray as Cyborg. Like when you see the behind the scenes stuff, he's in his gray pajamas. So then you realize that like the amount of work that goes into it. I guess I've just really gotten fixated on how VFX artists need to be given more credit, because it's one of those like thankless jobs where they only get attention when it's bad, but it only ever looks bad when they're being rushed with like unreasonable deadlines. So it's like we have to give props to all of those artists, and whomever Zach collaborates with, clearly they are just top of the line at what they do.
Yeah, definitely. I think he has a good team, finishing up the effects for this, this Justice League, the Snyder Cut. And it's gonna blow us away, man. I love this Flash scene. My goodness.
Yeah, this Flash scene is gonna be insane.
God, look at what are we seeing here, Gob? Like
is he on the ground? Is he running on water or some kind of?
It's like creating a new path, like a new world or multiverse in a sense. Like amazing, man.
Oh my God, Syl, do you see some green in the right hand side? Is that green?
Confirmed.
What's the actor's name?
Sam Benjamin.
You
Yeah.
notice how he got real quiet after the HBO deal went through?
Nah.
New NDAs.
Hey, I'm sure it is, but like, how do you cut out this Flash scene? You have that in a movie. It probably was unfinished VFX. He probably just finished the shot. But how do you cut this sequence out if you have it in the film?
You want to accelerate the hope and optimism, and this is too dark, guys. It's too dark.
This gives me hope. This gives me optimism seeing this. My
And I
goodness.
don't know about his running style. I don't know if that's going to change, but no, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. This, obviously, we've seen before. It cuts off before she says, shall we? So I don't know if that line stays in there. But in the background, you can see the skies that are still grey, bluish. So none of that red shit that we saw. Bruce Wayne's card. And
If
Darkseid.
someone brought out, talked about the Bruce Wayne card. I guess that's the Aquaman scene when
Yeah.
they first meet. So again, we have a lot of dialogue we didn't see yet. A more
In
less
Iceland?
funny, yeah, more or less funny. Aquaman. I think we're gonna get that take as well. So
I need to read out a super chat from someone. Let's have a look.
super chat.
Dimitri, thank you. Shout out to Film Gob and everyone. Big weekend ahead. Yes, it's going to be a jam-packed weekend, man. So we've seen that. Let me just move on to something else. Vero, they posted popcorn ready for DC Fandom today. Who else is looking forward to watching Zack Snyder's Justice League teaser? So that's Vero getting involved. They're showing their support. Is Vero made by someone who's like friends with Zack Snyder? I take it. Was that created
so.
by? Yeah,
It's got to be some connection. Yeah.
I can't remember the guy's name, but yeah, it's awesome to see them kind of supporting it. Now I saw this, right? So you've got all the hashtags, you've got all the symbols, icons, if you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
Got DC Fandom, Batman, The Flash, Superman, Wonder Woman, Cyborg, Aquaman, but there's no Green Lantern.
They can't give it away.
I'm just.
If there was an emoji that would pop up, it would give it away, and then trades would start writing about it.
This is the emoji that I put up because I don't know. Some people like, you know something. I'm like, no, I don't know anything. I'm just asking, where is it? But yeah, well, you're right, Lady Jenevia. Maybe they don't want to give it away. Maybe they don't want to.
I don't know.
Here's the thing. If we're talking about Green Lantern and Zack Snyder's Justice League, I don't know if they would really like advertise that in an official capacity. But if you've been keeping up with just the online ongoings over the years, then everybody already knows that it's Sam. So like but obviously he can't say that because now there's like a deal for it to actually come out. It's not just like it's just a thing that almost happened that didn't happen in my career. Now it's like, no, it's an upcoming thing. So now he can't talk about it, but
right.
And I don't really need them to talk about it because it's like that. I mean, regardless of how much has already been put out by Zack himself over the years on Vero because he didn't think it would get released, it doesn't mean that they have to like reiterate all of that in this new wave of marketing.
Yeah, Mattia is asking, where is Martian Manhunter? Well, I think General Swanwick, he's not. We're going to see him, morph into Martian Manhunter. I don't think he's going to reveal himself to the rest of the league. I don't know,
right?
Because I've not read the script. I know some people have read the script and they know what's happening in the film and everything, and they try to push it on me. Hey, Gob, do you want to know? I'm like, no, I don't want to know. I want to watch the movie. So I don't think. I'm just guessing here. I don't think he's going to reveal himself just yet.
Yeah. I, like you said, Gob, like I'd rather that be a surprise, but yes, Martian Manhunter does not have a hashtag emoji. Green Lantern doesn't, but Supergirl does, which is weird. Supergirl does have
show
if you hashtag it. So I'm just saying, like we'll see if they reveal that.
Yeah. Reese says there should be an emoji for Deaded Scoop. I created a character by the name of Deaded Scoop. So if you've been following me on Twitter, you might have seen him. He's deading all kinds of scoops, all kinds.
What is it? I don't get it. Is it?
You know the character of Deathstroke?
Yeah.
So I made this character called Deaded Scoop, where he's like, Umberto Gonzalez. He uses the word deaded quite a lot. So that's like an industry word about how a scoop, how a story has been, or a project's been deaded.
Mhm.
So I created a character called Deaded Scoop. There you go. And when you get the call from Deaded Scoop, you know you're in trouble. Your clickbait needs to be shut down. You know? So I might put him in a video. I don't know. I might just leave him on Twitter. He's quite good for Twitter. Teth Adam says, "Do you think we'll see Deathstroke in the trailer today?" Don't get my hopes.
No,
Must say no.
because he's in the post-credits scene.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Well,
just a little peek of him fighting people in Arkham. Just a little.
He has more scenes than just the end credit scene, but I don't think I don't think we're going to see him today.
Because I think the whole point is that there's such a large roster of characters that appears at one point or another in the film that, as far as marketing goes, I mean, you have the League, so the majority of it will be the League, and then like your villains, and that'll be like the main thing that you lead with in this marketing. That's just my opinion anyway.
We've got a new theory here from 80s Wolf. He says, Christina Wren's character will be Green Lantern. Manhunter chose her for a reason. I like your thinking, 80s Wolf. Throw that into the mix, let people fight over it.
Run with it.
Something unrelated. Omshri is asking, anything about the Mortal Kombat movie? Not heard anything at all. Is that a
it's a real thing.
Is it on the roster for DC Fandom? I didn't see it. Did I miss it?
It's not. I don't think we'll see anything for Fandom, but yeah, when details come out about the new Mortal Kombat movie, it's gonna be interesting. I think you'll like it, Omshri.
Stan Lewis Tan. Follow Lewis Tan on Twitter.
He's in the Mortal Kombat movie, for context.
Yeah, he's like the lead character, but they're not saying who he is. Like they're waiting to reveal it. I don't know, and I don't game, so I don't know like the lore of Mortal Kombat, but I'm gonna watch it because
he could play anything.
If you want a quick summary or kind of a short kind of version of the Mortal Kombat story, just watch the recent animated film Scorpion's Revenge. Is it? Yeah, really good, very quick. Gets all the characters kind of origins in the way. Kind of put in there, so I hope the film's a bit more, takes its time a little bit more. But as for an animated film, it's quite enjoyable. Mad Max is here. Hello, Mad Max. I think he's going to be the last stream today. So everyone go and check the Crisis on Infinite Streams schedule. Imagine Zack Snyder directing Mortal Kombat. Bloody hell,
man! Never thought about that.
Zack Snyder for everything, basically. Just want a quick shout out for the RT Snyder Cut account. They hit 29,000 followers. Yes, come together, celebrate. Thank you to everyone who made this victory possible, and a warm welcome to all newcomers who enrich us and make us stronger than ever before. Let's keep this train rolling. What's this? Zack Snyder's 29,000. There you go.
That's cool. And just for context, I mean, obviously there's more than 29,000 fans of the Snyder Cut for different reasons, but
I'm pretty sure that account blocked me.
Okay. The fact that it's over 20,000, that's more than like some corporate, like blue check corporation followers. So that's a major thing that they got up to that point. Pretty major.
I think Jenevia was, her toxicity.
Yeah, too many Toby Kebbell Stan tweets. Sorry about it.
That would do it.
Watch Servant on Apple TV.
So RT Snyder Cut, man. I don't know if you have blocked her, but unblock Jenevia.
I don't care.
I care. Hashtag unblock Jenevia. Because Grace Randolph unblocked me.
I have a lot of accounts that are blocked.
Anything's possible.
I don't take it personally.
It was a great day when Grace Randolph unblocked me. It's
but I don't want to cause any controversy with the RT Snyder Cut group because I know it's different factions. Today is not about that. It's about unblock her, at least for today, if she cares or not. and
Okay.
and let everybody just enjoy
just-
DC Fandome today. I know, I understand.
I was just saying it because I thought it was funny.
Yeah. 80s Wolf, he says, the dog in Man of Steel is crypto. That's why he wanted to save it, not to reveal the dog's powers. There you go. Oh, it's genius. Yeah, crypto. Next up. So there's an official Snyder Cut movie account. So it's just at Snyder Cut, and the handle is the Director's Cut of Justice League, which I should really change that to Justice League, the Snyder Cut. So this is the official account. It's awesome. Who are they following? 7 people: Ray Fisher, Gal Gadot, Ben Affleck, Warner Media, Zack Snyder, DC, and HBO Max. And
Well, I mean, there's no one else to follow because Henry doesn't have a Twitter, and Ezra doesn't have his own social media
at all. Yeah.
No, he only pops up on his band's social media sometimes, but that's just whenever he feels like it.
So everyone go and they've got 21,000 followers now. So yeah, go and check out the official account. They'll be updating you.
Already following.
Fiona, she had this updated this For Snyder Cut website. So welcome to this For Snyder Cut 2.0 website for to document and preserve the history of the successful Snyder Cut movement. If you seek this monument, if you seek this movement's monument, look around you. It's clever. So yeah, you can go to the website. I've checked out many times. All Zack Snyder's interviews are there. Lots of clips. Lots of YouTubers and podcasters who have been involved. The links are there. So if you ever want to check that out, it's there. It's been updated.
I regret I haven't checked that out yet. But I'm a fan, like I said, of what anybody in the fandom. I'm a fan. If it's something good and positive, I'm a fan of it.
And I think you were in there. I saw the website. I don't know if you were in there, but
I should get a check. Yeah.
Next up, Jason Killard. He says it's also very good. No, Zack Snyder is also very good at teasing us about a teaser. So excited for this. So this was 24 hours ago. Jason Killard, of course, he is the Warner Media CEO.
CEO, yes. This is the man right here. The person, I mean, he was hashtagging right with us, after it was announced. Very interactive with the fandom. So cool guy. If you say something positive and you tag him, he usually, likes it or something.
Yeah, he does get involved in a lot of tweets and stuff. So check him out. And of course, this was the big story. You thought the Snyder Cut clip, the Snyder Cut clips Zach was posting and the images, you thought that was big, man. This caused bloggers to lose their minds. You had Jim Veg Voda. I'll bring his tweets up in a minute.
I had heard he was coming back, but I thought they were going to announce it at DC Fandome, so I was surprised that they were announcing it like a few days early. I was like, "Oh, that's happening now?" I was like, "All right, let me tweet about it."
And we discussed this, Syl. We said, what was it? Zach's Ben Affleck, he signed a new contract. That's what the Cultured Nerd said.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that? It's happening before September or by the end of September.
That's on tape.
It's happened before the end of August.
Yeah, shout out to Taylor Murphy.
I'm not saying it was just the Cultured Nerd. I know the Gotham, right? They've been talking about it, so we all heard this, but there were some people, right, in our own movement, so-called supporters of the Snyder Cut, claiming that no, Ben Affleck's not coming back. Oh well, I look stupid. So great to see Ben Affleck back.
Yes,
and that we were talking about this earlier. A source stressed that Warner Media's investigation into the production of Justice League is not limited to these individuals. So we've talked about that.
So basically what they're saying is anybody can catch a case.
Yes.
That's the slogan here.
No one can hide.
Yeah, like I said, investigation. Just think of it like this: like the people in the building still, they have no reason to investigate people they fired already. So it's still in the building, and you're gonna hear some more announcements.
No, but I think it makes sense to, like, even if they've already been fired, like this independent investigation, like you can investigate the people that got fired, because if somebody's going to get sued,
possibly.
I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just saying if.
It's a possibility. I agree with you on that. But the point is, it's still people in the building that's going to get called out too, and probably some that's gone.
We're half an hour in, so everyone who's watching, click that like button if you're enjoying this content. Crisis on Infinite Streams with me, Syl, Jenevia, a Matthew less show still. But
just waiting for him to wake up. Maybe he needs to caffeinate or shower, or I don't know what. Turn on his computer.
He said something like he had a power outage, but he's booting back up.
Okay, so he's coming.
Many excuses. There's so many.
To everyone who's watching, I might have a new video coming up today, depending on what gets announced at DC Fandom. I almost made another video so I could have 2 go up today, because I was like, should I make a video just like raving about Armie Hammer and the Man from U.N.C.L.E. so if he gets announced as Hawkman? But I was like, no, see, I can't do videos last minute. I take too long. So I was like, I can't. But
got a Toby Kebbell video waiting.
No, that's going to be a huge listen, don't derail Gob's show by asking me to like profess my adoration.
My fault. My bad.
Look at how many tabs Gob has. Like, you want me to derail his tab hopping right now? Come on now.
You're right. Yeah, you're right.
I'm the tab master. Oh no. So this comes from, again, La Hoguera de Gotham.
Yes.
They posted this next. This is next, everyone. So we have to connect the dots. What is this? Is that Andy Muschietti in the top left?
Muschietti.
Andres Muschietti.
And Ben Affleck.
And
Negan.
Barbara, excuse me, give Barbara her flowers.
The Muschiettis.
His sister, yes, Barbara.
Yeah, just like how Deborah Snyder is Zach's producer, Barbara is Andy's producer.
So I still see some people calling her his wife.
I know.
God, that makes me cringe so hard. Like, I messaged someone on Instagram randomly because I was like, they went to a meet and greet and they met them. It was like, I think it was after It Chapter 2 came out. It was like a promotional thing. And they were like really excited. They were like, man, it was so cool. I got to meet Andy and his wife. And I was like, ugh. And I DM'd her. I was like, just so you know, that's his sister. So
right.
Don't say that.
But it's good that you bring that up with her. She's very much in this project as a producer. She was teasing Jeffrey Dean Morgan recently. So that gives some credence to him still being in the movie as well. So
I love that.
Yeah.
We've got Jeffrey Dean Morgan, the actress who plays Martha, Martha Wayne. So, and we've got Ezra and Ray. So I don't know what they're
teaching. Do you think they'll get Billy back?
What's that?
Do you think they'll get Billy back? Ezra's dad or Barry's dad?
I'm sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Has anyone talked about that?
Or it's been rumored. I believe he's gonna be back. Just like the original Iris, I believe she'll be in there too.
And finally, so this is the some receipts. Yeah, people talking about how this is Jim Veg Voda, right, from IGN, and he's good, but he's friends with Christine Harloff, so of course he's going to have crap takes. For all the people who made Batfleck trend again, so this was on June 27. He didn't want the role anymore. He has spoken candidly about how his time making those films fueled his relapse into alcoholism. You're getting the Snyder Cut. Please move on.
But that's not the full story. That's like
Exactly.
taking a piece of it and like twisting it. It's because of because Ray is pulling the receipts on everybody, and we're finding out how toxic of a work environment was. Listen, until you've been put into a toxic situation against your will, and like until you experience that, like it doesn't have to be necessarily like on a feature film. You don't need to be an actor to be put into a toxic work environment or even like a toxic personal environment. And like when you're stuck in there against your will, so like him as an actor, he would have had to have finished filming stuff because he's got a contract. Like it's not good for anybody's mental health, let alone somebody who's, you know, like trying to stay sober. I mean, like I feel weird even talking about Ben's sobriety that much, because to me it's like it feels weird to talk about it because it's like it's none of my business, you know. But I really don't like people throwing that around about Ben or anybody for that matter. It's like, mind your own business. He's good now. He's coming back. Like he loves. Like, where's that photo of him as a child wearing the Batman shirt, or was it a Superman shirt? I don't remember, or maybe all of them. Yeah, like, oh, he didn't want the role anymore. It's like, no, he didn't want to be in a toxic work environment. That's what he didn't want.
And the environment changed. That's the big factor that changed. So,
Evil Cat Lord says, can't spell ignorant without of course. He also, there was another one. He says, lot of you guys also didn't listen to me when I said he was done with the role and not coming back. I had to hear that for 18 months before they finally confirmed it. This was the next day, June 28. I see Alistair. He's like, well, guess what? We won't be listening to you in the future. Affleck, whatever.
Exactly.
Alistair, well done.
Well, when Ben quit, I think he meant it. I think he meant it at the time, because the situation was what it was.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. It's like Ben Affleck.
I don't think he was just saying that just to say it. Like, I think he meant it at the time. I think it was I think he did what was right for him at the time. And
but it could have been just, I'm taking a break. He was on the Jimmy Kimmel show. He's like, I'm not the Batman?
Question mark?
Well, I mean, once you're Batman, you're always Batman. It's like when you're president, like you're forever referred to as president, even if you're not actually doing that job anymore. It's like an honorific term. So.
Well, he is back now, so that's what matters.
He's back.
And as long as he wants to do it, he's healthy, it's all good.
That's the point. Because this is notion now that, oh, he just came back just a cameo and for a story to be wiped out. No, his contract involves multiple appearances.
It's 4.
He chose, up to 4. He chose to do this project. That's why he got in shape recently to do the Flash movie and to do more. So he can pick and choose what he wants to be in. I do not believe that he's coming into the Flash movie just to be erased. To do all that just to be no.
And I mean, now that he's working with different people, it's like different people that he'll be collaborating with on like the professional side of things, the business people.
And that's the new narrative that the people that were doubting him coming back, they're the ones trying to say now, well, okay, it'll just be one. They didn't even know about the one. So are you going to believe them going forward? It's like, come on now, like let's use our brains now.
But at the end of the day, I mean, like, again, I'm not telling people, like, if you want to argue about it on the internet, like, have at it, because, like, it's your social media accounts, you can do what you want. But, like, I don't have any interest in arguing with people on the internet, because it's like, it is what it is. Whatever opinions any of us have, we are not involved in it. Like, they will make what they're going to make. Like, our job is, like, we either watch the thing or we don't watch the thing. And that's it. And obviously, like, everybody who's watching this stream, we're all going to watch the thing. So he can make whatever he wants and I'll watch it.
HBO Asia is teasing 5 multiple appearances. I don't know where. Robert Mexico?
Yeah, they may be including the Snyder Cut. But I was hearing that it will be 4 appearances after the Snyder Cut, so that's probably your 5. But hey, if it's another one, I'll take it.
Zeverfet says, I disagree.
Wrong show.
I don't have I have this.
Well, I just reject your hypotheses.
There you go. He disagrees. But I just want to bring this up. I see stuntman Mike. He said, so this is how things have been kind of happening over the past few days. HBO, we're dropping the Snyder Cut trailer on Saturday. Disney, cancels, the Mandalorian season 2 trailer premiere to sabotage Warner Brothers on Saturday. We're going to drop our trailer on Saturday too. HBO, Affleck is back as Batman, and Disney gets wrecked. They've got nothing to respond with.
Well, and there's going to be other announcements coming today, like they have so much already listed as far as just programming and names and stuff like that. But there's all the stuff that isn't listed that's going to happen. I mean, that's like, it's not just a DC fandom thing. I mean, you take any Comic-Con, there's always surprises. There's always like, oh, and guess who's coming to the stage? And it's going to be that. Those are the things that I'm most excited about. I want to be, knocked out of my chair.
Fat Steven Seagal beat up Joss Whedon.
Yes.
I was expecting to read Ryan Johnson, but he's changed his name to Joss Whedon. Thank you for your super chat. Only for DC Fandom, the name changes. Yes, thank you. Fat Steven Seagal beat up Joss Whedon. And maybe for the next DC Fandom, you can change it to Fat Steven Seagal beats up Jeff Johns. There you go. Yeah, that's a good one.
That's coming.
What else do I have? I missed out something. I know that much.
But this is good. This is good for Disney and MCU to kind of take a seat and let DC kind of have its summer and fall, and you know what I'm saying, just kind of look at what they're doing and not be running the game so much. So they had their day.
So I've heard about this Patty Jenkins situation. Now, someone that I might as well say it. It was David Williams, the former DC Comics artist. He was on the Collision Talk. Some of you might remember. I interviewed him. He sent me a link, and I'm like, what's this link? What is this? It's a Midnight's Edge video, right? And I don't watch Midnight's Edge, so it's the first time I've watched them, apart from the time when they said the Snyder Cut is not coming out. And then they're like, oh, you took our words out of context. And I'm like,
What's Midnight's Edge?
Midnight's Edge, they're a YouTube channel, yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, is this a show or like a film that I haven't seen? I didn't know what we were talking about. Okay.
You don't need to watch them. They're trash. No, I'm kidding. But Midnight's Edge, they had a video about how Patty Jenkins is kind of unhappy with the kind of changes that are going on. I don't know if this is like fake news that's being pushed to hopefully get Patty Jenkins out of the DCEU, maybe move her, kind of push her towards Marvel. Maybe Marvel want her. So there's maybe some of the...
No, they already blew their opportunity with her.
I know, but you never know. Maybe if they, just like Robert Downey Jr., he was like done. He said he was done with Iron Man, but they brought him back, right? And they might still bring him back. Okay. So that emotional death in Avengers Endgame. Okay. It's Oscar worthy. But yeah, so you never know. Maybe Marvel, they're like, oh, maybe we need Patty Jenkins. Bring her back. We'll say sorry. We'll let her direct the action scenes this time.
Well, I'll say this with the Patty Jenkins, and we kind of talked, we DM'd briefly about this guy, but I did kind of look into that as far as people. The Midnight's Edge, they quoted Scooper Mikey Sutton. He's a pretty legit dude. I know some people that do know him, and I was talking to him about the Patty Jenkins thing. That seems to be a real thing that after Zach came back, that put her Wonder Woman plans on hold. I think like a month ago, she came out and said that she's not developing a third movie right now for Wonder Woman for good reason. Because the story may change with Zack Snyder back in the picture. So I look at it like this. I don't think she's anti-Zack, but her plans for Wonder Woman, I think, is shelved. So professionally, she's probably salty about that. Not against Zack, but just the people making the decisions. I want to make that distinction because people turn it into a Patty versus Zach thing, and I don't think that's what it is. I think
How are
just as
they going to
professional.
try to act like those two have any type of animosity when they've literally worked together and they've been like nothing but buddy this whole time?
Because she did voice some support for Jeff Johns recently.
When it was contractually obligated to do so. You're not allowed to pretend that anything is less than perfect when you're trying to sell a film.
The only problem with that, Jenevia, is that she had an opportunity to say something positive about Zach all year, and she really hasn't. So just people are reading into that, but I don't want that to be a Zach versus Patty thing. That's not what it is. It's Patty versus her bosses. That's what the problem is right now.
And Zach's literally a producer on Wonder Woman 84, so
yeah.
So yeah, it's interesting. I mean, do you think she's going to stay around for Wonder Woman 3?
It's a question mark. I mean, she's contracted to do a third movie. They're going to change her story. I think they're just like a given right now. So is she going to sit there and let them dictate her story, or is she going to make a power move? So I give her all the credit if she wants to take her projects and do something different, because things has changed now with DC. Just things have changed. The
thing. I mean, I watched the video, right, and is the one at the top there. Trouble Brewing, the future of Wonder Woman. They say that she's not happy with that. She has to link her film with other DC films. I'm like, well, the opening of the original Wonder Woman was linked to Batman v Superman, so it's not that big a deal. So,
I mean, they did tell her to do that, though. That's the thing. It's like she did want to have her own playground. That's what Wonder Woman 84 is. So yeah, she may not want that, like you just said, that connection to other movies.
All right.
This just sounds like middle schoolers just making stuff up out of boredom. So like I have nothing to contribute to this because it's so uninteresting to me. It sounds like complete nonsense.
It's a real thing. Her career, that's a real thing. As far as
I'm talking about people being like, oh yeah, these people hate each other and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, who are you? Why would you know this?
But the thing is, right? No, never mind. I won't go into that. But I think we're all done with the news. We're only 1 hour into it, so we've got another hour. Jenevia, I hope you had some notes that you wanted to share. Where's Matthew? Where is he? Still not here.
He just said when he texted me, he said something like his system was down because he had a recent outage. I was like, okay. Let's see. Studio waiting to boot up, had power outage. That's what he said about 20 minutes ago.
All right, no problem. But yeah, I could go into a few other things. Like there was plenty more happening. Grace Randolph. Let's talk about Grace Randolph.
Yes.
She says in a recent video that Supergirl, not Supergirl, Batgirl is going to replace Batman or Batfleck. I was like, well, you cannot replace Batman with another character. Batman is going to replace Batman, whoever they choose to be Batman in the future or a different timeline. Fair enough. But she says later on, well, Ben Affleck's Batman, he can stay in the Snyderverse on HBO Max, which is like,
really?
Okay. So what was the point of you talking about what you said before? Did you see our video, Syl?
I saw a clip of it. I don't get a chance to watch her as much as you do, Gab.
We can watch it right now if you like.
Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Since we've got nothing else to do.
We could fight about Patty Jenkins some more. That was fun.
Yeah. Let's see.
Why would Zach and Deborah hype up Wonder Woman 1984 at Justice Con if there's beef? When it's their event and they're free to just talk about their own content?
That's a fair question.
Fair question, yeah. Let's see. Ben Affleck's Batman, The Flash 2022. Let me just bring this up. Share the screen with audio.
Like I said, it's like I don't want people really bashing Patty too much because of like some kind of Zack Snyder slant. It's literally her career that she's salty about, and I hope she gets the power that she wants, and maybe it'll be somewhere else.
Let me know if you can hear this.
It's going to be a really crazy discussion. It's going to be a multiverse level discussion because that's exactly what Warner Brothers is doing. And we love to see them winning so much, by the way. First DC Fandom, now getting to the multiverse before the MCU. I mean, they have to actually make these things work. But right now in the anticipation stage, it's delightful. They certainly have raised the bar on Kevin Feige getting to multiple versions of the same character first, but only publicity-wise, only in the headlines, only in terms of an announcement, because of course Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness comes out first. And you know what? Batman v Superman didn't stop Kevin Feige from doing Civil War. In fact, it's why he did Civil War, as the Russo brothers revealed. They had pitched Civil War to Kevin Feige. He said, I don't think so. Saw the Batman v Superman announcement and said, let's do it. And of course, the rest is history. So even though...
See, Doctor Strange, it comes out before what? What's she saying? It comes out before Justice League?
I thought you were saying before the Flash movie.
The Flash, right?
Yeah, I think that's what she said.
Now, I know people are smart. They think, now we can say that Zack Snyder copied the Russo brothers, which is like, the hell are you talking about? When you go back to SnyderCon, right, and Zack said, he basically told you what his original idea was with the time travel or different timelines. And when he explained that, right, and this was before the Avengers Endgame release, when he said that, I'm sure there were things like Captain Marvel, I think, had a post-credit scene where she meets up with the other Avengers and they're talking about, we have to jump into this timeline at this point and this and that. And it sounded very similar to what Zach was saying at SnyderCon. Now, I don't know if they showed that scene and it was going to be in Avengers Endgame, but it wasn't in Avengers Endgame. I don't know if they pulled that or what,
right? Because
of what Zach said. So we all know that Zach had these ideas. Chris Terrio wrote them. And Marcus and McFeely, or whatever their name is, those two clowns, they're going to fucking come up with this is what happens if you steal. Well, I'm not going to say they stole it, but if you like say I took someone's script, right, and it has time travel in it, and I start changing things around, and I'm not the original writer, there's going to be plot holes. It's going to be bloody messy, and that's what Avengers Endgame was, a bloody mess. So anyway, let's see what Grace is saying.
Now, Warner Brothers has beaten Kevin Feige to the punch again in terms of publicity. He could still do his multiple Spider-Men in the Multiverse of Madness movie, which again hits theaters first. So will history repeat itself? Although this time we're all wise to Kevin Feige's tricks, but it's not stopping him. Of course, as we've also already discussed, when does Namor make his debut? The same year as Aquaman 2, if Aquaman 2 keeps its release date. Very competitive, very competitive. All right, so I'm sorry this video is a day late, as I tweeted out yesterday, and I've heard, as I've told you on one of the live streams, that if Keaton is back, Michelle Pfeiffer will also likely return for a cameo in this upcoming Flash film.
Maybe.
Yeah. That's conjecture. Yeah, that's conjecture right there. It's not guaranteed.
All right. But they would have to bring back someone other than just Michael Keaton. I would like to see Michelle Pfeiffer. So anyway.
That'd be cool. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Oh, exciting. So Batfleck and Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton doesn't have a snazzy Batman name. So Batfleck and Michael Keaton, if you want to have some suggestions for what we could call them down below, let's hear them. So they're both in the upcoming The Flash movie, which is clearly Flashpoint inspired. Sorry, Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Didn't sign his contract fast enough. He didn't lock that in. There was, he was hinting that he was in those discussions around the holidays. But then Warner Brothers got an idea. Vanity Fair, which broke the news. Interestingly, not a scoop. It was an announcement through Vanity Fair because Andy Muschietti, the director of the Flash movie, gave quotes. When you get a scoop, you don't get extensive quotes from the director about the project. And Muschietti had some interesting quotes about Ben Affleck's masculinity and his virility as a filmmaker.
So that's the thing. If his quotes weren't in there, and this was just, we have someone close to the studio, as Paul does, Batfleck's returning. So I would have then been like, all right, okay, fair enough. But I wouldn't have got excited. But to hear him actually talking about it, it was awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah, to have his direct quotes talking about how Affleck will fit in the movie. That dynamic. So this was kind of an announcement. It was like, let's get this out there before Fandome. So that's pretty interesting. Very interesting.
And the article clarified, by the way, that Ben Affleck will have a cameo in the Flash movie, while Michael Keaton's role is substantial, which coincides with what I'm hearing. So this is what I'm hearing. Ben Affleck agreed to do this cameo as a goodbye. Don't worry, there's a back door, a potential back door. But the reason Ben Affleck likes it, why he was sold on it.
Why are you laughing, Syl?
Oh my goodness. Like, again, I always talk about conjecture. No one told her from the WB execs that this was a goodbye role. Ben could have said goodbye by not signing on to do this movie. So that's why I laughed. Yeah.
Is this all we're going to be doing for the rest of the show?
We just need to watch what Grace said about this.
I don't need to watch anything. So you just let me know when you're finished.
All right, okay.
You
What you're reading? Jenevia, are you reading something?
I'm looking at the chat and I'm checking what's going on Twitter.
All right, okay, that's fine.
Have an official goodbye and also to give the fan something nice on his way out. In the movie, apparently Flash will end up erasing. We'll be like, no, don't do it. Run the other way. Erase this other stuff. We're like, Flash, we actually have a checklist of what we'd like you to erase from the DCEU, and Batfleck ain't on it. But the way the script is now, Flash will erase Ben Affleck's Batman from the DCEU. And Muschietti, in his quotes in Vanity Fair, talks about how they both lost their mothers, Ben Affleck, Batman, Martha. You think that hearing will survive and be brought back into the DCEU, as we've been discussing, as an older Nick Fury type, which the trades have reported. But again, as I already reported to you, the plan is to have him mentor Batgirl, and she would be the Batman. The Batman figure in the DCEU Trinity. I know. To my source, I was.
Our source. You know what? I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say anything about. Not going to say anything about Grace's source, right? Because she did unblock me, and I don't want to get blocked again. Gotcha. But it doesn't make. Does that make sense to you, Syl? That Batgirl is going to replace not just kind of the Batman Beyond, but replacing Ben Affleck as well.
Well, this what doesn't make sense is we're bringing in Michael Keaton of an alternate version of Batfleck, basically, right? The 89 Batman, different timeline. Mm-hmm. He's mentoring. Everybody knows the Batman Beyond. Now, if they choose to do Batgirl as that, instead of Terry McGinnis, cool. But the whole new trainee coming in, they're going to go off to their own multiverse. Batman Beyond is a totally different timeline that they're setting up right here. So to say that you're bringing in a Batgirl or whoever, and then the next Justice League is going to have her and Michael Keaton, like it doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense.
I see Zeverfet says Keaton won't be Sam Jackson. Okay. Zodwriter says Lady Jenevia is awesome. I love her.
Hey.
she's bringing the fire. She's got no time for Grace Randolph. She's like,
Listen, like I've only just recently started meeting channels that even do content where it's more news oriented, because I don't normally watch that type of content. So it's like when I say I don't know this or that channel, it's not like a mean thing. It's just there's like so many subsections of types of content on YouTube. So it's only just now where I'm like, you know, I met Film Gob and I met Matt and yeah, stuff like that. So I don't have any interest in watching people talk about like, well, this is going to happen, and it's like, okay, if you're somebody that actually knows that stuff is going to happen, it doesn't. Why would you put that out there? You know, it's like, okay, well, there's scoopers, and I'm like, okay, well, then I'm not interested. Like, if I hear something before it's going to happen, I don't put it out there because that's not what I do, and I'm just not interested. It's just a personal preference. I'm not judging anybody who likes to follow scoopers. YouTube is a giant platform. You can watch whatever you want that's on it. So I just went on a tangent. I'm so sorry. I don't know why I did that, but
that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you earlier, what is the current video that you're working on? Is it like DC related or?
I'm finishing my last video about The Boys season 1, and I did do a DC related video that will possibly go up today depending on what gets announced at DC Fandome, and I'll just leave it at that.
Sam Benjamin confirmed for Green Lantern.
No, that's not. There's nothing to talk about with that because we already all know that.
You sound like a scooper. You scooping?
Sounds like a scooper now.
We talked about it on Twitter, didn't we?
I
Or did I
know.
not see that?
Oh, well, he hinted towards it, but you know, not confirmed yet.
He like is he British? I remember didn't he post a video of himself talking? He's like, oh,
I think he is, yeah.
It's getting released, blah blah blah, and everyone was like, oh, hi, Green Lantern. I was like, oh, it's Green Lantern, cool. And then I forgot about it until everybody started talking about Green Lantern again, and I was like, oh right, that guy on Twitter who posted. But now that the contracts have been signed, now he's real quiet. You notice that? Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yep.
Zeverfet says, Syl is a scooper. Cut his mic. No, it's oh no, he's gone.
Where is Matt?
Yeah, we do.
Oh,
Need him to that. I want to talk to him about that. I watched his live stream where he was talking to the mysterious
Johnny Cosmos.
So I had to do an
edit.
I had to do an edit of that guy.
If you watched Gob's video, that whole thing that happened, I was talking to Matt before that happened, and then he was like, I'm just gonna put you backstage real quick, and I was like, oh, okay. I had no idea what was going on. And then all of a sudden that happened. And I was just so confused. I was just like, where am I? What is this? I think I blacked out until it was over because I was just like, I don't like the conflict, and I just blacked out. And then
it was about 25 minutes, 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's why I blacked out.
I would love to put the whole conversation, but it's Matt's content, so I'm not going to do that. But I just wanted to take some clips, so make it a funny video. Because I was on Fatal J's channel, and man, he was taking ages to end the show. So I was just going over to Lightcast, and I had him on mute, and I was looking at the chat, and people were like, "Get this guy off, Matt! Get him off! He's done. He's finished." I was like, "What's going on? Who is this?" So I was like, "Hurry up, Fatal! I want to catch up on the drama." And then when I came on to Matthew's stream. So yeah, it was hilarious.
Yeah, there was a lot of parts you didn't catch. I mean, where you didn't put in your video, like you said. I've
seen it all.
It's a lot of funny parts in there.
But it's weird how sorry, Jenevia, I just want to talk about the scooping kind of side of things. But if you say, Ben Affleck's coming back and it's going to be announced at a certain time, and that's came true, you still have people going, "Oh, you never announced what movie it's going to be in, and what else is in the contract." It's like,
Who
Well,
does
that's
that?
also why, like, I mean, that whole scene is it's so like tense and dramatic in just like a really unfun way. And the whole thing is like growing up watching content, I was not aware of the discourse because I wasn't online like that. Like, you know, my mom had rules about at what age I could start to be online and in what capacity, and like social media was not as prevalent until I was a certain age. And then like I only gradually started to get onto the platforms that now you can find me on today. So like I was not like, I would just go watch things and that would be it. Like I didn't know about all of this stuff. So now, like, I mean, I don't see anything for me to enjoy from getting into any of that. So like if I'm in a situation now where I'm meeting people and if they tell me stuff about like, oh, this is going to be happening, and I'm like, oh, cool. And then I just leave it at that. I don't go on Twitter. I'm like, hey, guess what, guys? I found out Ben Affleck is coming. I mean, I can say it now just because like it's already been announced, but like I was told that Ben Affleck was coming. But like they, well, I mean, they were all talking about it. They were all saying that he was coming back. So I was like aware of the fact that it was like, you know, just kind of like a matter of time. It was like circling the drain of like eventually the ball is going to roll. And I was like, oh, cool. And I just left it at that. There was nothing to talk about. It was just like, oh, all right, cool. Good for him. I like his Batman. I would love to see him do it again if he's up for it. And that was that. Like, it's just not my thing. And again, I don't say that in a way to demean anybody who's interested in following all of that and getting into any of that. It's just everybody has different preferences. And I prefer to, you know, find like video essay channels or like meme channels like Mike's Mike. He's so weird with his editing and I love it. Like that's just more my thing. So
yeah, I also want to get away from a lot of kind of discussions. Not get away, but I just want to get away from doing the daily or weekly. Oh, this might be happening in this DC universe. This what was? Someone said something. Someone liked a tweet on Twitter.
Yeah, I'm not into that. Like reading too much into stuff. Yeah.
So I want to get away from that. But I love live streams. I love hanging out with my followers, hanging out with you guys. You know, people like Jenevia, Syl, Matthew, Fatal. What's that?
If he shows up.
If he shows up, yeah. I want to get Johnny Cosmos on the stream.
I will fully leave the call and like go rewatch Rock and Rolla if you do that until the event starts.
I knew Rock and Rolla would come up at one time. I knew.
Listen, Toby Kebbell. The way I love him, the way my taste jumped out because I love Toby Kebbell because he's the most underrated actor in all of Hollywood. Someday, all of you are going to finally understand how great Toby Kebbell is, and I will be so smug in saying I told you so that you should have stanned him sooner. And you talk about meeting celebrities in Comic-Con. That's so vague. What do you want to know?
Mark Strong. Tell us about Mark Strong.
I have a video already about meeting him. It was super brief. That's the thing. I think people like I showed some of my photos because I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know these people. Let me just show my photos. I have nothing to add to this conversation. But a lot of times, if you're just getting selfies with people, it's literally just, hi, can I get a picture? And then you get it, and there's no like story really. I mean, I've made videos about them, but I don't even do them as much anymore because I feel like they're not interesting to share. It's just more like, yay, I got the photo. Do you want to see it? Here's the photo. Ta-da! But that's what Instagram is for. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you want me to talk about it, I can talk about it. I just don't know what there is to say. So, I mean, if you'd like to have a follow-up that's more specific, yeah.
Not much to say really. You can go on Genevia's channel. You can check her videos. She's always uploading little segments of her interviews. You can check that out. Someone says, Syl, why are you laughing? He's a fight. He loves it. He loves it here.
It's my trademark.
Toby Kebbell.
Oh no, not that. I just did again. But what's up, ACS? My boy Anthony. He's the fifth nerd.
Fifth nerd, yeah. So the Wonder Woman panel is about 2 hours and 45 minutes away. So, and someone asked, am I going to be streaming right up until then? No, hell no. We're going to stream. We've got another 45 minutes to go here. And
And Fatal J is next.
so you guys can ask us questions. So the chat, the honourable chat, the goblins, the knuckleheads,
The players.
Gob, did you ever end up watching Bloodshot?
Oh, and I've still not watched it.
No?
I've still not watched it.
It's worth a watch.
I watched, let me just bring up
So
my...
you were saying that you were wanting to watch it, and I was gonna see if you had watched it, because literally the best scene in the film is Toby Kebbell's scene. So he's got like 2 scenes, and one of them is the best thing in the entire film. No, and that's a fact. Even Taylor said so. Taylor from The Cultured Nerd. He was like, "Oh man, it was so good. I rewatched it again. Like I watched it twice."
Just because y'all are both fanning over Toby Kebbell doesn't make it right. He had one of the best scenes in the movie. There's other good scenes in Bloodshot also.
It's the best scene.
I tell you what I did watch. I watched An American Pickle, Seth Rogen's film. It was fine. It was fine. It was funny. I like the themes of the film, like, you know, different generations, how they kind of communicate today. If they were here, your older ancestors, if they were here today, how would they look at you? The things I really liked that. It was very touching. I like that. But yeah, it was just fine. It was okay. What else did I watch? I watched The Old Guard.
I still haven't watched that.
I haven't seen that. There's too many things.
Too many. Well, yeah, too much to watch. But I finally got around to watching.
I feel like what we're missing with cinematic releases, like I fully understand why cinemas are not open right now in certain parts of the world, but there's this sense of urgency when you have a cinematic release of like, oh, I have to see this at the cinema because it will not be here after however long its run ends up being. And even the run is not guaranteed, because, you know, runs can last for a really long time if the film is continuing to perform well, and they can also drop off after like a week if it just completely tanks. So when you release things on streaming platforms, on the one hand, it's cool where you kind of have this greater accessibility to people who are already subscribed to it, but it also, like, there's no sense of urgency of like, well, I have to watch this right now. It creates this thing of like, oh, I can watch that later because it's just there and it'll stay there. So it's like, there's so many things that get released on streaming platforms. I'm like, oh yeah, I want to watch that. And then I never do. I still haven't watched. What's the blindfolded one with Miss Congeniality?
Bird Box.
Yeah. No, still haven't seen that. I don't not want to see it, but I haven't. It's just.
The memes were good. The memes around it were good. Shadow Vessel says Highlander, The Old Guard. So yeah, the Old Guard kind of takes a lot of ideas from Highlander.
Not a bad thing, right?
Kind of. It's like a team of immortals, but are they immortal? You know, and they do missions that, you know, try to make the world better. You know, doing doing good work. But Charlize Theron, she's all right. You know, who else is in the film? Chiwetel Ejiofor. Yeah, he's in it.
Oh, is he in that? Oh.
He's a great actor. Yeah.
I'm looking at the chat through these questions. What am I hyped for? I mean, like all of the film panels, but probably The Flash and, well, okay, The Flash and the Batman, because we really haven't seen any promotional stuff, and the Black Adam one because I want to see if it's Armie Hammer. Or actually, no, what was the other? Charlie Hunnam was also on that list, and that's another Guy Ritchie alum. So
I wouldn't mind that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I also watched Project Power with Matthew Fox. Not Matthew Fox, Jamie Foxx, and the guy who's always feels miscast in every film he's in, Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Gordon-Levitt, yeah.
I just feel
he's in Knives Out. He's got a cameo.
Oh, he has.
Yeah, he does. He's the voice when Marta's sister at the beginning is watching a murder mystery, and he's like talking in this old-timey crime voice, and he's the police officer, and he's like interrogating a suspect. That's Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Oh, okay, didn't know that. I enjoyed the movie Knives Out. Yeah.
Project Power, I did like how it starts. It's very visually, it's quite good, very solid opening. First half I quite enjoyed, and then the second half kind of just it lost its power, I guess you could say. It's lost.
Ooh. Yeah, that third act, that dreaded third act, like Black Panther, like Wonder Woman.
Yeah. But music's good, effects are quite good. I think it would have been better as a TV show. I think probably a few episodes.
Yeah,
But-
and they're already chattering about a possible sequel. You know, it's just whispers right now, so we'll see.
Someone in the chat is asking me if I have met Ben Affleck. Yes, I met him briefly at the BBS signing before it came out. So I met everybody that was there to promote Comic-Con, and they all signed a poster, and it was great.
That's
It was
awesome.
very brief, but Ben Affleck did call me sweetheart, as Bostonians and just men in that region tend to call people. So that was delightful.
Oh
But
no!
the thing is that like the experience was not the same as if I were to do that now, because I hadn't seen him as Batman yet. I didn't know that he was my favorite Batman because the film wasn't out yet. It was in 2015. So if that counts as meeting, then yes.
I'm just going through the chat as well. So yeah, Bloodshot. I want to watch it sometime next few days. It's there on my computer, and I just need to watch it. I'm saving up. I had a few horror films lined up. I'll probably save them for October because October is a good time to watch horror films. Let's see. Yeah, so there's loads of films I need to catch up from last year as well. I'm falling behind, man. It's like,
Oh, I got asked a question. One of these two invites you out to coffee. Who you got, Guy Ritchie or Andy Muschietti? Guy Ritchie, because I've never met Guy Ritchie, and I really want to meet Guy Ritchie. I love Andy Muschietti, and he's delightful, and I would love to hang out with him because he just seems like a really fun person to chat with. But I've never met Guy Ritchie, and I really want to meet Guy Ritchie.
but who among the, well, let's get this conversation back DC focused, right? Because we have completely forgotten.
Before that, somebody keeps asking me if I wake up with blue eyeshadow on. No, I know what time I have to be on here, so I take as long as I need to get myself ready and look presentable for Gob's show because I'm a considered guest, as you were, Gob.
So I was saying, who among the DC cast would you like to see, like meet in person? You've already met Ben Affleck. Who else?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, like meet, like you mean like actually meet, not like every lame story that I have where I don't actually meet them. I mean, I probably Henry because he's worked with Zach and Guy, so like all the stories he has, I'd be like just tell me about me because those are my favorites. Like my favorite DCEU film is Man of Steel, and he was in one of my favorite Guy Ritchie films, The Man from U.N.C.L.E., and like. Yeah. And the thing is like, regardless of any of the DC people that I've met briefly, I don't feel like I've like properly met the vast majority of them because to me, meeting should be like, I feel like I've had encounters. That's probably a better way. I've had a lot of encounters. I feel like if you're meeting someone, I'm talking about actually getting to have a conversation with people. Like that would be super fun. But, you know, I'm not relevant. I don't get to meet anybody.
I'd like to meet Henry Cavill as well, just so I can get closer to Cal, you know, his dog, and just cuddle him.
Dog is so cute. Oh my God.
What about you, Syl? Who would you like to meet?
I would like to actually like meet, like have a conversation with Ray Fisher after his Justice Con interview. He just seems to be a very thoughtful person. It would just be cool to chat it up with him.
He's really nice. That is someone who I feel like I actually did meet because I met him and I like went up to the table and I chatted with him and he did not rush me. So, you know, we were able to chat about like how cool that is and yeah.
Like a cool, genuine person, you know, and that's pretty cool in Hollywood, you know.
Oh, wait, somebody's asking about Matt Reeves.
How do we feel about Matt Reeves, the Batman?
I'm excited.
Medium hype, and I'm looking forward to his panel.
Wait.
Who's that? Oh, there he is. Yeah,
Matt Reeves. Yeah, no, I mean it's a take on Batman. I'm open to any takes on, hopefully it turns out good. Today, I think they're gonna raise our hype level a little bit, or yours hype level, Gob, just a little bit. I think so.
I think they will.
Matt
'Cause-
Reeves worked with Toby Kebbell on Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and he needs to put him. I've been saying that for a year. You can check the Twitter receipts, and he needs to put him in the Batman because I said so.
I'm all for that. Yeah, I'm all for that.
DC talk with extended. He says, "I want to meet Gal and Amber." Wow, I don't know about Amber Heard, but
Oh, really?
she
I mean,
might.
that's-
I almost got a picture with Amber, but I pressed the wrong button, and I turned. You know how when you press the button to lock your phone and the screen goes black. So I just pretended like I already got the photo and let her go because I didn't want to be obnoxious. And yeah, because that was I was at Comic-Con before Aquaman came out, so because she was there, and I was like, oh, she was nice
Was
for 3 seconds when I met her.
What's she like?
She was nice. She was fine. I mean, again, listen, when I meet these people, it's for 3 to 5 seconds. Most people are capable of being polite and decent for 3 to 5 seconds. Maybe not everybody though, but at least I think, if you're not physically imposing, which I'm definitely not, if I meet a celebrity, they're not worried about their physical safety because I'm not being weird with them where they're worried about okay, is she gonna do something? It's always just oh, hi, can I get a photo? I got a picture with Yaya, and this was before Aquaman came out. So he was surprised that somebody said his name, but I knew who he was because when he got announced as being part of the cast, I followed him on Twitter. So I knew who he was because everybody else was Jason, screaming at Jason, screaming at Amber, screaming at Nicole, obviously, because hello, Nicole Kidman. But then when they were leaving the building, because they had gone in to do interviews, and when they were coming out, I saw, Yaya, he was meandering along, not even worried because nobody was bothering him because nobody knew who he was. But I did. I was Yaya.
I'd be like, hey, Yaya Abdul Mateen II, cheers, here, man.
No, I mean, I can say Yaya. That's not a really, it's not Bob or whatever, super obnoxiously common name. If you say Yaya, he knows that it's him. And he looked over, he was surprised that somebody called his name. It's can I get a picture? He's great.
Yeah, I think
totally
that Matrix movie, I think is really gonna just take his name to another level. Yeah.
Sumik says, so this is for you, Syl. Which movie do you think will get announced at the DC Fandome? If that's still happening, I don't know.
Well, this is my theory is they took away that little to be announced slot. I think all our announcements are going to come in connection to the panels that's there, meaning Zack Snyder. I think he's going to talk about the director that him and Deborah was working with. So I think we're going to get an announcement on his panel. Shazam 2 is kind of obvious. They're going to announce Shazam 2. I think somewhere we're going to get an Ayer cut, Schumacher cut. So I'm expecting a handful of projects announced.
Right. Wait a minute. I think we've got, Robert Pattinson, right? I think he's still in Glasgow filming scenes for the Batman. And I want to ask you, Robert Pattinson, would you like to come on the stream right now? Maybe chat to Syl and Lady Jenevia. I mean, we were big fans of you, Robert Pattinson. How about it?
No. I'm Robert Pattinson, asshole. I don't do that. Screw you.
Womp womp. So that's Robert. Again, Robert Pattinson turning us down. Not big enough. But yeah, I don't know what's happening with that the 2 secret movies that they were going to announce, but interesting. But let's see what other questions have we got. Your thoughts on the new Suicide Squad cast? Well, we're going to get the panel today and hopefully get to meet them, hear a little bit more from them. I know John Cena's in there. You can't see him, but he's there.
He's there. Idris Elba is in there.
Idris Elba.
Oh, Idris Elba said that he would announce who he's playing. I think I saw that. Because that's another Guy Ritchie alum, so obviously I follow him.
So did they not announce who he? All right, okay. Well, if they're going to announce who he is, I would like Bronze Tiger.
Mm-hmm.
If you've seen Suicide Squad: Hell to Pay,
Yeah,
that character was really good.
he did.
So I think Idris Elba could pull that off. What else?
Yeah, they have a good cast, the Suicide Squad cast. Some mid-tier people, but I think it's going to be a good ensemble. I believe so.
Who goes first at DC Fandom? It is Wonder Woman 1984 panel. So in about 2.5 hours. Let's see.
Somebody's asking me which Guy Ritchie movie deserves a sequel and why is it King Arthur? Also The Man from U.N.C.L.E. and also Rock and Rolla. And if you look at the behind the scenes content, the promotional content for The Gentleman, in the scene where he references his own films needing sequels, there was also a Rock and Rolla poster in that scene. And you can't see it in the actual film, but it was in there. So I don't know why they didn't show that, because I think he should have made that declaration. But anyway.
All right, thank you, Jenevia. Chris Clark says, isn't Idris playing the Vigilante? A Deadshot ripoff.
Oh yeah, wasn't that a controversy where they were saying they were gonna have him play that they were gonna have him play that character, and then everyone got really mad. They were like, no, that's Will Smith's character. You can't just have somebody else play that. And they were like, okay, just kidding, we'll have him play someone else. Wasn't that a controversy? It's like this long repressed memory that's starting to resurface. Was I hallucinating that? Was that a fever dream?
No, it was no hallucinations, but it was people were speculating that he replaced Will Smith. So yeah, it was a little pushback with that, but we'll see. We'll see what he plays.
Well, and I mean, Idris Elba is Idris Elba. Like, he deserves to be his own character, not a recast. Like, no offense to, I mean, when recasts happen, like, they happen. I get it, but I mean, it's Idris Elba. Come on. And it's DC. You've got an entire encyclopedia of people to choose from. Just choose someone.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Feige, he's shown his face around here. He says, he's asking the 80s Wolf, do you plan on making your own channel? Well, maybe he is, Kevin. What's it to you? I bet Kevin is like, he's got those dollars sitting by his side, trying to bribe 80s Wolf into becoming a, Marvel fanboy channel. It's not going to happen. So you can't bribe my goblins, Kevin. You can't bribe my goblins. Let's see. How long are we going to stream? Another half an hour.
Yeah.
A half hour. Who's next? Let me have a look. We've got I've made up a playlist.
Cool.
Of all the streams that are happening. The playlist is called DC Fandom Crisis on Infinite Streams. There you go. So our video is first, because it's my playlist. Second is it's Subjective Reviews, who streamed before us. Mm-hmm. We've got the Louis Centino show. Now, Louis Centino, he is going to be streaming in about 15 minutes. All right. Oh. So he's going to be, I think he's going to be streaming for quite a while, quite a few hours. And I'm going to be on the show. So I think it's in about 4.5 hours. I'm going to be on his show. And he's going to have a whole lot of other guests. So go over to the Louis Centino show. That's his channel's name. He starts in about 15 minutes. In about half an hour, Fatal G is going to start. So I have to go over there. I need to charge my microphone, first of all. And he's going to have Abu Nas, the Riddler, Scott Fowler, and myself. So we're going to have a party over at Fatal G's. It's going to get a bit rowdy.
Guaranteed.
Jenevia. So I don't know if you want to join us.
Join Probably. What? No, nobody's asked me about anything. You're the only one who said, "Oh, come in. Do you want to come on my stream?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, okay." Nobody has asked me anything.
The last time we were doing the Crisis on Infinite streams, it got a bit too loud. I don't like that kind of live stream. It's not the four nerds, right? You know what I'm saying? Not the four nerds. Everyone's shouting over each other. You know,
I mean, but
hashtag two things.
I will be watching all of the, you know, all the what is the room that it's in, the Hall of Heroes or whatever it's called, all the major. I'm just gonna have it on all day, and I was just gonna live tweet it because like I've tried streaming on my channel before, and I just don't really like, you know, I was doing it on my phone, so it wasn't the best setup, so it's not ideal. This is easier for me when, you know, when people are like, oh, come on my stream, and I'm going, oh yeah, all right.
Yeah.
But I'll probably live tweet and then be like, Army Hammer, Army Hammer, Army Hammer, you know, when that gets announced.
So
Scooping again?
I'm just going to go quickly through the Crisis on Infinite stream. So after Fatal J, we've got Nicotina Show, Zeverfett, then Nerdy in Many Ways, Ryan Kinnell's going to be streaming, and then Zeverfett again. So I'll be updating the playlist as the day goes on, because I'm not sure what other channels are streaming, but the playlist is on my channel in the playlist section. Everyone go check it out.
Yeah. So Lady Jenevia, I have a few of the members of we have a podcast for nerds, which it's a small upstart podcast that we're getting started up, and you're being petitioned to join the show if we work something out with your schedule. So you're formally being invited, and you know
what today? Oh,
I mean, that'd be cool if it was today, but it'll be like we actually set up the show, and well, you know, sort of like Lightcast, but 4 of us. So it'll be pretty cool. We'll have to talk to you about that soon.
yeah, just tweet me.
Mm-hmm.
I spend too much time on Twitter just shit posting.
Well, yeah, I follow you, so yeah, I saw that.
My mouse stopped working for some reason, but it's back. Okay, so Ibby Ibs, will you be in DC Fandome watch party in Crisis on Infinite streams? Which watch party? There are plenty of watch parties. Let me check. Are you talking about the Nicotina show? That's coming up in about 2 hours. Probably not. I'm going to be on Fatal J's in about half an hour. So stay tuned for that. And then on the Lewis and Tino show in about 4.5 hours. So that's enough for me, because I want to actually want to watch the panels. Right, I want to watch the DC Fandom panel.
That's my only unless I'm doing it like this, where I have kind of like 1 year in and 1 year out, like watching the streams. Yeah, but you were the only one who invited me on a stream today, so I was like, oh yeah, all right, I'll do that.
But I mean, I know the other channels that are going to be streaming later on, they are going most likely they'll be watching it and they'll have it on screen, like, you know, when I share my screen, like we can in StreamYard. So I guess you can watch it with your friends, your YouTuber friends.
I'm gonna be all over the place today, man. Goodness.
Why so snappy says David Goyer had a real good script for Green Arrow. Glad it was adapted for Arrow season 7. I don't watch the Arrow TV shows, but there you go.
I forget when I stopped watching Arrow, but I stopped at one point, and I guess it finished now. So I'm like, oh.
You probably stopped in season 3.
I genuinely don't remember. I might have it written down somewhere, because I have to write down everything that I watch to keep track. Otherwise, I forget what episode I'm on. Too many shows. So, yeah.
The UK time for the Snyder Cut panel is 10:30 p.m. So 10:30 at night tonight. But it does say time subject to change at the bottom, so I don't know. It should be the official locked-in time. But we're going to get the Batman game, guys. The Batman game is going to be announced. Warner Brothers Montreal. Yeah, is it based on the Court of Owls? Is that what it's looking like?
That's what they're teasing, and I'm excited about that. Like, that's going to be some pretty big news if we see, you know, a little footage or something of it. It'll be exciting.
Because we're going to get that, and then we're going to get the Suicide. I would say, because we've had so many Batman games, we've had 4 of them. I want to see something different, so I'm a bit more excited for the Suicide Squad versus Kills the Justice League.
Oh yeah.
Apocalypse Meow, thank you for your super chat. All hail Gob. Does anyone else think our friend Johns is the Lex Luthor of the Snyderverse? He's got no power anymore. There's no. You have no power here, Johns.
It's a wrap.
Was Jenevia is in the chat as well. She says, yes,
They
I
asked
am.
me if I'm still watching Titans, and I didn't want to interrupt you talking, so I answered it in the chat.
Cool. Doom Patrol, I like, well, TV, when it comes to TV shows, I don't have time for them, but
I need to know when they're gonna finish Servant season 2 and put it on Apple TV, because I need more Toby Kebbell.
So Servant, was that the one M. Night Shyamalan?
Yes, it's very weird and confusing, and I enjoyed it greatly.
He's directed it?
I think he's like
Kind of like the
he's like
showrunner
the
of it.
creator, showrunner. He like directed. I think he directed 1 episode in season 2. I have to look up the trivia again, but I think he's going to direct more in the future seasons. Like I think he recently tweeted something like, "Oh, I know what I want to do for season 3 and season 4." And I was like, "Are you going to give me 4 seasons of Toby Kebbell? You're going to kill him, aren't you?" And then I'm going to have to just stop watching.
Exactly.
What DC character would Guy Ritchie handle well? Constantine, John Constantine, a good old like East London John Constantine.
Brian says, I don't watch live action TV. It's too Karen for me. That's a good So Lightcast needs to get on as soon as possible. Yes, CG Music. He's abandoned us. The goblins.
Favorite Toby Kebbell role? Johnny Quid in Rock and Rolla. What do you mean? How is that even a question? Hello.
My goblins. Seek out Matthew Miranda and bring him to me alive.
Where is he, man?
He's gone. He's left us.
Technical malfunctions, apparently.
Yeah,
I think it's that anything that can go wrong will go wrong. I think it was one of those days for him.
I'll have to take the thumbnail and put a big cross on his face.
Oh, that'd be cool.
James Cameron for Man of Steel? What? No.
Do they need Man of Steel 2, presumably, since Man of Steel was already released?
No, James Cameron, he's in the Avatar business. He's got 4 sequels lined up. Bloody hell.
Crazy.
Nope. Constantine is Francis Lawrence's baby.
Boom.
Listen, I'm all for, like, if they decide to like resurrect Keanu Reeves as Constantine. I love Keanu Reeves. So like, and Keanu Reeves loves Constantine. He talks about it all the time. Every time people are like, "Are you going to be in an MCU film?" And he goes, "You know, I really loved playing John Constantine. I just had so much fun in that world, and all the people I worked with."
There's one interview where one of the interviews asked him about the MCU, and Keanu Reeves is just like, Chad Stahelski, maybe you want to take this question. He just passes it off to Chad Stahelski. It was quite funny. But yeah, Constantine is what I want to see Keanu Reeves back in, even though I know Constantine is the British and he's Mancunian accent, but oh well, can't have everything. Guy Ritchie with an Etrigan movie. That's a good one there.
Ooh.
Do you know Etrigan, Jenevia?
No, but if it has Guy Ritchie's name on it, I will watch it.
The demon who speaks in rhymes. That's what I want. I need he would have that kind of humor as well. So I think Guy Ritchie would be perfect for that.
Yeah, I need some more Etrigan.
See, so we've got people in the chat. They're happy with Keanu back for Constantine. What surprises do you expect this weekend?
No comment.
I don't think we're going to get. Well, we might get a short teaser for the Batman. I think we'll get something.
Possibly.
Because they've only just started, starting their shooting production again.
Well, yeah, the cool thing is that the co-writer of the Batman said they did a majority of the photography already before the shutdown. So he has a lot to play with to give us a real teaser today. Like, it's very possible. Yeah.
Constantine, is he Manchester or Liverpool? I forgot. I don't know which city he's based in. He has one of those accents anyway. I'm Scottish, man. What are you asking me for?
But
Just
yeah,
have
as far
him do
as-
Justice
yeah.
League Dark.
I'm assuming the person who asked that is possibly British. The fact that they even realize that there are so many different accents in the UK.
We've got Yorkshire, we've got Mancunian.
Oh God, could you imagine a Constantine with a Yorkshire
Yorkshire.
talking like I'm so sorry.
My brother lives in, used to live in Leeds, which is like the main Yorkshire city. And man, I don't like that accent at all. Don't like it. It's so boring. Sorry, everyone
East
from
London
Leeds.
is the best accent. Anybody who talks like Danny Dyer, like we can be friends. That's all I know.
London, mate. That's where Baby Darkside is from. He's like, oi, oi. I need to bring Baby Darkside back.
Baby Dark Side.
Back to the channel. Nightmare 606. Well, a Nightmare Coast 666 is Mancunian. Jolly Critic says, I'm Liverpool. All right then.
So I was right. They were from the UK, so they knew the difference.
Well, Richard says Constantine is from Liverpool. Okay.
Is he? So literally, they could just make fan edits, like rip audio from like Beatles interviews and just like put it over like footage of Constantine.
Wow.
But I've not watched the TV show, so I don't know. Was the TV show quite good? Any of you watched it?
I think he was good. Like the whole thing was that he was so good at the part that they brought him back. So he's been recurring on. He kind of was like popping. They brought him onto like different CW DC shows, and then they added him to the main roster on Legends of Tomorrow. So he just like that actor. I mean, he really like he plays the part really well. But I mean, I say that as I don't know the source material, but it's like a compelling performance. So
he is fashionably late.
The show's over.
well, we could get him on for 10 minutes.
We can't hear you, Matt. So yeah,
It's probably still in bed.
Can you guys hear? Because I can't.
I can't hear him.
I feel like I can hear the sound of his room, like the sound of like the mic being on.
I'm here.
He's been taken over by Johnny Cosmos. Any second now, a big white circle's going to appear, and he's like,
I'm here.
No interrupting. No interrupting. Hello, Matt. Hello.
That's the new Constantine, the TV show Constantine.
Matt Ryan, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
He's cool.
Late cast. That's a good one. Late cast.
Yeah. I'm gonna run with that one, yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you now. Yes. How you doing, Matt?
Yes. Awesome. Sorry about that. Yeah, man. We have rolling blackouts here, so.
All right. So I'll keep your image in the thumbnail, right? I might have to cut half your face because you're only here for 15 minutes. But yeah, just since you're new to the stream, tell us how are you feeling about DC Fandom? What you looking forward to? Were you watching the rest of? Were you able to watch any of the stream? Any points that we were talking about?
No, I haven't.
No.
My phone was able. Oh, I'm actually driving, so I have to charge my phone as I drive. So I'm actually interested to see what's going to happen with the Sandman panel, and if they're actually going to announce the Netflix show Sandman. I'm really excited for that project.
All right, yeah. Sandman, I still need to listen to the audiobook, but I'll get round to it, I'm sure. Let's see. Everyone's mentioning that individual that you've got beef with, but I'm not going to bring up his name. But yeah, Lightcast. Any more quick thoughts? How about are you into video games?
I am into video games. I'm actually waiting to see what's going to go on with the Suicide Squad game. But I know a lot of people want me to talk about the Snyder panel. I mean, what can I say about the Snyder panel? I mean, as much as it's going to be the longest panel, it's going to be the panel that's going to excite people the most. It's already taken stream over the internet. I mean, Twitter is, I mean, come on, they dedicated a whole Twitter page to it that's getting more excitement off of one Twitter page that just started, what, 2 days ago, a day ago? And, you know, I'm going to tell you, like, AT&T is going to break the internet with just the Snyder. So, you know, the Snyder Cut is going to destroy pretty much anything that's shown today. And I think, you know, I want to highlight some things that a lot of people probably don't know about, like Sandman and that video game. Actually, I'm excited about.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting the Suicide Squad game, we're getting the Batman reveal as well. So we're going to get 2 video games announced. But I would imagine working for the Twitter accounts for AT&T and Warner Media, probably getting ready today. Just, you know, probably looking at, you know, what people are talking about, and probably got their tweets ready for the event. I'd be very interested to see how that works behind the scenes. But let's see. So yeah, I think you know what? I think we'll end it there, because I know, Matthew, you're kind of driving and I don't want to like cause any accidents.
Well, we have 9 minutes left. We can take it up till like 59.
Yeah, don't hold me back, man. My car drives itself, so don't worry about that.
What, you got a Tesla?
That don't sound good.
Fuck no, bro. I don't got a Tesla. I do cruise control, baby. This is goes.
But what is this?
Yeah, and remember, they extended Zach's panel. It was 15 minutes in the original thing, and now it's 25. So.
I thought it was always 25, because when you clicked on it, it said 25 minutes. I know people went on the schedule and the time of the next Hall of Heroes panel, but if you have actually clicked on it, it said 25 minutes. So that's been there since ages. But yeah, 25 minutes, man. What are they going to talk about? I know they're going to have the trailer is obviously going to be like 2 to 3 minutes. That's what I've heard.
That's what I'm thinking.
Surprises. I don't know if the whole cast is going to be there. It would be good. It would be good to have them.
Of course they will.
Yeah. Whether it's recorded or whatever. Yeah.
Well, yeah, everything is recorded, but that's the point. Is like, you know, they've had the time, so there's no thing of like, oh well, you weren't available. It's like, no, they've been planning this event for however long they've been planning it. You know, like everyone's been able to record their bit. So I just want to know if it's like everybody's videos individual, or if they were able to get them onto like a Zoom call so they're actually interacting with each other. Because it would be nice to see the banter. I mean, for as much as people have not so great feelings about Justice League, what came out in 2017, the promo tour was fun though, with like seeing the actors all together, because they get on great and they've got like great banter and fun. Like that one where, who was it? It was like half the cast started playing instruments, and then there was just Ben and Henry sitting there like, what is happening? That was hilarious.
But who? Well, I don't know. Should we talk about this just quickly? What would you like to see Zack Snyder direct next? If it wasn't, well, obviously it would be Justice League 2. Because someone was asking what other film would you want Zack Snyder to do? Man of Steel 2? Well, obviously Man of Steel 3, whatever it's called.
I mean, I would like to see him do more stuff outside of DCEU, because I think some people are forgetting that like he already was great before he was making DCEU films. So it's just kind of nice to remind people that he has the range, you know. Like, hello, let's all go back and rewatch 300 and Watchmen. And, well, I mean, that's still like in the comic book universe, but you know what I mean. And you know, Sucker Punch. Like, I think it's fun to see him do something that's more original or like less known, because I think part of the problem is that when he's adapting stuff in DC Comics, people know what DC Comics is and they have these ideas about what it's supposed to be. So if it's either a completely original concept or if it's something that's more obscure, like, oh, we're going to loosely adapt something that like not a lot of people have heard of, then there won't be this annoying, like, you're not doing it the right way. It's like, you don't even know what this is. So, or if it's just something completely new, you know. Because wasn't that what's? Oh no, Sucker Punch was like. Well, anyway, I don't need to get on that tangent. We only have like 5 minutes left.
You know what? Since we're here and see Mr. Brohawk, David Williams, he's in the chat. He says there was no JL 2017. Exactly. Yes, we've forgotten it. It's gone. It's been erased. But you know what, David? He sent me. He's told me a while ago about. Zack Snyder recently said, "Buckle up, Dorothy," right? On one of his Justice League clip reveals. On Vero, yeah. And David was telling me for the longest time, it's everything. It kind of takes the Wizard of Oz kind of ideas, and the characters fit into the kind of Wizard of Oz kind of characters. So. He says, my long-running theory of this specific grouping of JL members and story subtext. Clark, Kal-El, Superman, he's basically Dorothy. The tornado changed both of their lives. A tornado changed their lives. Barry Allen, the Flash, he's like the Scarecrow. Victor Stone, Cyborg, he's like the Tin Man. Arthur Curry, the Aquaman, he's the Cowardly Lion, but I guess we'll see more of that in the...
Maybe it's just the hair.
Yeah, but he's kind of unwilling to kind of go along with the team originally. Diana, Wonder Woman, she's Glenda, the Good Witch. Bruce Wayne, Batman, he's the Wizard. You know? Steppenwolf, the Wicked Witch. Parademon, the Flying Monkeys. So David says, Zach, you sly devil. So that was David's theory all along. And apparently he's been proven right because Zach showed the clip with Buckle Up Dorothy. So David knows what he's talking about. So we'll end it there.
Oh, and I've got the Shazam 2 panel because Mark Strong's going to be there.
Yes, Shazam panel, yeah. So thank you, everyone, for coming on. Syl,
well, you got it, though. God, can I just throw something in for just a minute?
Sure.
One thing that I think a lot of people need to take away from this situation is that Zach proved to a lot of people that you don't need to focus just on one movie. Like film producers and directors, they don't just focus on one movie. Zach was shooting, Army of the Dead and working on that, and and I don't want to talk about that one, and Justice League at the same time. So, and he's doing other projects. So, it's. I mean, he's probably working on his next film right now, and people just don't know it.
Yeah, I mean, just Stone Quarry, is that what it's called? Stone Quarry Productions?
Yeah, it's production company.
They're working on a lot of, it says right in there in their title, animation as well. So they've got animation projects. J. Oliver, Zack Snyder, they're working on the Norse mythology for Netflix. Got Army of the Dead coming. Deborah Snyder, she said they're working with another director. Might that be revealed this weekend? I don't know.
It will.
But it will. All right, Syl. Syl putting his name down there. It's like, yes, it's going to happen this weekend. So thanks everyone for tuning in. Syl, where can everyone find you?
Syl Abdul Inc. That's on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. Syl Abdul DC on Facebook. Facebook group DC Multiverse Chat, and hey, Fandomes today, so let's stay excited.
Lady Jenevia, where can everyone find you?
All of my public social medias are at Lady Jenevia. So my YouTube channel is Lady Jenevia. My Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd, Vero, Tumblr if you ever go on Tumblr, but I only ever go on there to post my videos and then I leave because it just eats up all my time. So yeah, at Lady Jenevia.
And Lightcast.
You can find me over on Dakota and Fifth. I am going to go get some breakfast, and then I'm going to make my way to the store. But yeah, you can catch me on over there. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for joining in. And I hope you enjoyed DC Fandome. First panel is 2 hours away. And you can catch me here on Twitter, YouTube, FanDome, and I'm going to be on CULTJER's channel next. So until next time, my goblins, I'm Shorty, and you're not.